Hey, good morning, Choice Residential. Hope your day's off to a great start. Today, I want to talk about communicating with your sphere of influence. Now, you hear me talk about this a lot because how you communicate with your database or your sphere of influence, and your sphere of influence are the people who you know and who know you and who know that you're a real estate agent. These are the people that we're trying to ingrain in their mind that when they think of your name or they see your face, they instantly think that's the real estate person. So when we talk about building a referral based business where you don't ever have to make an outbound sales call, your phone rings because of the work you've done with your sphere of influence. That's what we call a referral based business. And in order to do that, you've got to build a foundation with your sphere of influence. The way you build that foundation is by consistently communicating with them and adding value to them, not just once a year or twice a year or occasionally or whenever you think of it, but consistently throughout the year, year after year. And in order to do that effectively, you have to build some kind of a system that you can follow each year so that every month you're not trying to recreate the wheel on how do I communicate with these people? How do I add value to these people? But if you do this effectively, you can do as much business as you ever want to do in referrals and repeat clients by having a relatively small amount of people in your database. In fact, you can expect that between every 6 and 10 people in your database that you can get one transaction out of it. That means that if you have 300 people in your sphere of influence that you're communicating with consistently and effectively, then you can expect anywhere from 30 to 50 transactions a year just from having 300 people in that database. So let's talk about how do you communicate with these people throughout the year. So I'm going to go over some touch points, and a touch is any kind of communication, any kind of meaningful communication with someone. And I'm going to go over some ideas so that you can build some touches into your sphere of influence database. Now, again, it takes a little bit of planning. Write this down and then formulate your plan for how you're going to consistently communicate with people each month throughout the year. All right, the first thing you can do, we talked about it on Allie's call yesterday, is the Home by Design magazine. This goes out every other month, and it's an impressive looking magazine that will have your face on it, your information. You can customize some pages within it, but otherwise it's a 40 or 50 page magazine that's professionally published. And when your clients get it, I'm telling you, it happened. I hear it time after time with agents that utilize this strategy. Your sphere of influence, the people who are receiving this magazine, are going to think that you're publishing this magazine. And here's the great part. No real estate agent that is not great and successful would publish their own magazine. So just by default, when they're receiving this from you, they automatically, it instills in their brain that you are successful and that you are a go-to real estate resource. So that takes care of 6 touches a year. It's going to go out every other month. All right. The next thing you can do are proof of production postcards. So these are postcards that you send out. You can send out one a month is fine. And these go out to your sphere of influence. And proof of production means you're showing them that you are actively selling real estate. Now, maybe you've never sold a house before, or you haven't sold anything recently. So how do you send out a proof of production postcard? Well, you can borrow listings from agents in the office. So when an agent takes a listing, just shoot them an email, give them a call, say, hey, do you mind if I advertise or market the new listing you just took? And of course, they're going to say yes, because that's free publicity for their new listing. And you're not lying and saying that it was your listing. You're simply marketing it on a postcard to your sphere of influence saying, Choice Residential took a new listing. Well, that's true. It is the firm's listing. And you have our permission to do it. You just need the listing agent's permission to do it. So you could send that out. But these can be postcards that are just listed or coming soon, under contract, just sold. It could be a postcard that shows what you've sold year to date. There are lots of different things you can do. Get creative with the design, but don't overthink it. The idea is that you're showing your sphere of influence that you are actively selling real estate and that you're a successful agent. And they need to see that month after month after month, not just occasionally, not just sporadically. Every month that should be hitting their mailbox. That would be 18 touches right there. 6 magazines, 12 proof of production postcards. You should also be sending a home anniversary letter. We have a template of this on our intranet that you can use. So this goes out once a year on the anniversary that they bought their home, not just their first anniversary. And it also doesn't matter if you sold them the house. You can go to the tax records and find out when they purchased it and set up their home anniversary. KV Core allows you to input a home anniversary so that you can automatically get a reminder. I suggest sending out a letter to their inbox, to their mailbox, rather than an email, because we all get enough emails as it is. So send them this home anniversary letter, look at the template on the intranet, and customize that to fit you. All right, you can also send out 4 vendor recommendations a year. So fall, winter, spring, summer, these are great times to send out vendor recommendations. So find vendors that you love working with. In the fall, it might be a gutter cleaning service or a lawn service that will do aeration and overseeding. It might be pressure washing in the spring, getting the mildew off. Whatever it is, you find these vendor recommendations, handymen, painters, plumbers, and you communicate with the vendor. See if you can't negotiate some kind of discount for your database. Let them know that you're sending out to a lot of people. And then you send that recommendation out. Again, I like the idea of a letter with the vendor's information and a business card. And then maybe you do a voicemail drop to let them know that that letter is coming in the mail. Those are a couple of great touches that you can do. Also, you should have at least 2 call or text messages in to everyone in your sphere of influence throughout the year, just checking in. And find a reason to check in. Maybe you were showing a house in their neighborhood, and so you just send them a quick text that says, hey, I was over in your neighborhood, got to thinking about you. How are the wife and kids doing? Just a simple interpersonal communication with them that doesn't have to be about real estate, because remember, they're getting your magazine and your postcards and your vendor recommendations. So when you have these other phone or text interactions, you don't have to mention real estate. They're already thinking real estate as soon as they see your name pop up on their phone. So make sure at least 2 times a year you're having that kind of communication. And then the last one might be a client party. So you can do some kind of client event every year that allows you to send out a save the date, the invitation, the event itself where you're going to take pictures. And then after the event, you're thanking them for coming or telling them that you're sorry that they couldn't make it and sending out the photos from the event. You can easily get 4 to 6 touches plus the event out of just having that one event. So that's a lot of touches. Now, on top of all this, you're going to have whatever social media interactions you may have. So you've heard me talk a lot about that. I won't go into a deep dive here. But with this strategy, you could get at least 30 touches to everyone in your sphere of influence throughout the year. It's that kind of consistent communication that is going to lead to a referral-based business so that you literally never have to pick up the phone and make a sales call, and yet you can sell as many homes as you want to. The only thing that limits you is how many people have you built relationships with. So if you don't have enough people in that sphere of influence database, it's time to get out there, meet some new people, and start building some additional relationships so that you can consistently and effectively communicate with them and build that referral-based business. If you ever need help with this, want to talk more specific strategies, please let me know. If you have ways that you communicate with your database effectively, please put them in the comments below. The other agents would love to learn about what's working for you. And as always, if you need me, I'm just a call away. Until next time, take care.